Yeah, so proud of the team for finding a way to win a game. And if you've been around Colonel football for the last 10 years, that's what we're about. Is about finding a way to win, no matter the circumstances. I thought our guys played with a lot of heart, played with a ton of effort, and I'm proud of them for that. But it wasn't always great. We didn't always play well. We made mistakes, but we battled back and we found a way to finish with a victory. So our job is to go to work, clean up the mistakes, continue to make progress with this team as we look forward to closing out the season. But thrilled to get the victory, and we'll have the right attitude going to work this week to clean up some of the mistakes as we close it out.
Talk about Shaheen. I mean, Shaheen's really become a force on this offense, and another stellar game for him.
Outstanding performance by Shane. I think he really runs hard, super competitive, has great vision, able to stick his foot in the ground and see the cuts and make plays. I thought the big explosive run at the beginning of the game was a really nice run by him, really well blocked by the offensive line, so I was happy to see that score. But then throughout the game, he made a bunch of tough runs, 3 and 4 yard runs that are going to be important as the game goes on, and I thought he really did that. And the Wildcat runs were good for him too.
And this was the last chance to put on what you did with the team this season in front of the home fans. How do you feel you think this season went?
Yeah, so closing out the season, still got work to do. We got the rivalry game on Thursday, but to close out the home slate, with these 3 victories, the last 3 times that we've been at home is good for us. And then, you want to finish strong, and we got an opportunity to go win the rest of the games or win the last game, and that'll put us in position to win the state, which is one of our goals every year. And so we'll close it out, and I was pleased to get the victory today at home.
Talk a little bit about the touchdown pass. I know Alec had made the switch from linebacker to tight end. I don't know if he's had a target this year, but talk a little bit about that pass.
Yeah, excited for Alec to be able to get in the end zone. He had played a lot of tight end in high school. It kind of became their primary ball carrier as a Wildcat quarterback and tight end and things of that nature. And so midway through the season, we felt like he could give us some value on offense, and he's done that. He's been able to step in, learn the position, even though he didn't go through fall camp playing it. And so I was pleased to be able to see him capitalize today and get in the end zone on a big touchdown pass.
You're a defensive coach. How did it feel for the defense to close out the game like that?
Yeah, outstanding stop by the defense. I thought great job executing a call. Guy was in position to make the play, and that's because he did his job on the play. And all throughout the fourth quarter, the defense kept echoing 111th, 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 and that's what happened. That was the difference in the game. Everybody did what they were supposed to do on the last play, and so it put us in position to make a play, and then fitting that we closed it out with Lawrence Sullivan's interception. As a senior, being able to do that will be such a great memory for him as he moves forward.
Talk about the seniors, Coach. We talked a little bit during practice, but I mean, their last run, get to keep the trophy at the NSU, which is a big deal, so it's a good send-off for them.
Yeah, without a doubt. Proud of that group. All of them stories a little bit different. You have a guy like Hayden Shaheen who's been here for 6 years. Then you have some guys that are 4-year players and a few guys that have transferred in and closed out their college career here. So pleased for them. They did an outstanding job in my first year here of taking leadership positions within the team, being able to carry the message throughout the team. And so I am forever indebted to them for that. They're a proud group of young men. They got great families and they got bright futures ahead of them.
Yeah, I mean, he's a really good player. He controls that offense very well, so kudos to him. And they did some stuff that we had to adjust to, but I think it just all came together. We took a breath, made our adjustments, and I think the 11 guys, the guys up front, the guys in the back end, and the guys in my room at the linebackers, I think we all really did a good job of keying in and making the changes we needed to make at the right times of the game and executing that.
I feel like the Eye Black kind of tells the story of this hard-fought game. Talk about what it took to get that win.
Oh yeah, I mean that's everything. That's how we play here at Nicholls. That's being a Colonel. Anybody can beat anybody at any game. They don't have the best record. We don't have the best record, and they came out and they wanted it real bad, and we had to wake up a little bit, and we did what we needed to do. Took a breath, made adjustments, and accomplished that game plan.
I feel like you kind of represented the style of football Nicholls plays in your career. Talk about going out with this win and what that style of football has meant this whole time.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm glad we got the win for the people, the fans, the coaches, everything. But it's just being hard-nosed, and we're not gonna stop. We defend every blade on that field, so it doesn't matter what you hit on us. Anything can happen, but we're gonna make a stand.
Talk about it being senior night, your last game, right?
Yeah, it's super emotional. I'm so thankful for everything what this place has done for me. I love it here. I love the fans. I love the coaches, and I've put a lot into it, and they've given a lot back. And I can't say how thankful I am for it.
Talk about keeping the trophy, man. I mean, this was the first trophy game. It's something that has a little extra juice to the game. So talk about just keeping it for another year here.
Absolutely, that one's been here for a while. That's when we make a pretty big important emphasis on keeping it every year, and I think we accomplished that, doing whatever it takes to keep it.
And you know, you being a Louisiana guy, you got wins over McNeese, now Northwestern. How big is it for this program to possibly get that Louisiana sweep?
It's huge. Winning the state is one of our main goals every year. It's a huge thing we take a lot of pride in. You know, going into next year gives you a lot of momentum, sets a good standard for the following team, and how important that is to win those games and beat those guys, because a lot of time they're crucial wins that you got to have in the season.
Good.
Well, first thing I thought about was like what people could run against us on that play. We ran that play before in the red zone, and I don't know if y'all remember. I think it was Troy. They ran and they hit us on a beater, a little seam beater. So that was the one thing that was going in my mind, like, what I need to do to cover up this weakness to this coverage, but still do my job. So knowing that, and then seeing the number one receiver hitting that post, I was like, I'm knowing this is coming. Like, off of just film study alone, knowing like what's the weakness to y'all's coverage, and making sure that that's not gonna be the beater, and doing my job to squeeze the post and get the ball out. Because honestly, I was like, not gonna be selfish, but try to start thinking for me, going for a pick. But I was like, don't need to go for a pick. I can win this game by just batting it down. So batting the ball down, getting it out, and then long ball, and see Sully running back and forth, trying to go to 6. Everybody's yelling at him, get down. I was like, hey man, I'm glad this game's over. Please do not fumble this ball. Like, please. That was my mindset going into this game.
And that's got to be a moment you dream of right there.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about how you felt after.
Overall, just having your number called on, like being that person to be like, oh, my number's called on, it's the play I need to make, and making the play. Like, it's bad to be like, oh, I want to make this play, I want to make that play, and then at the same time, like, when the opportunity comes, you don't make the play. So seeing that the ball in the air, wobbly ball, straight ball or not, don't matter, just squeezing the post and getting a disruption. So it was like getting my number called and being able to make the play. So I was happy coach put me in that position.
I don't think it was too much of an air game from them. It was more of a rushing game. What kind of adjustments do you have to make when that happens?
Gap, man, honestly, like what gap we got to fit, what man we got to fit off of. Like first half, it was a little hectic, 13 personnel, extra tackle in the game, like all that stuff. But talking about it, going about it all over again, and coach telling me like, oh, play flat-footed, or oh, play off the back. The back gonna take you to the run game, and that's how I got like 3 of my other tackles in the second half. Like just making adjustments to be more aggressive in the back end instead of us just trying to like lose ourselves in the coverage so much.
I guess just kind of talk about, you know, this is your final game here at Guidry Stadium, and just to have just a competitive rivalry game, and then the way it ended, just talk about your feelings.
I mean, like as a senior, you always want to go out with like the best possible situation. Team don't score, and y'all just cruise to the finish line. But seeing that in the first half, like low-key getting punched in the mouth and making everybody lock in and making everybody like sink down to our training. Like, don't just try to be doing what the other team got going on, fighting with them, bickering with them. Sink down to your training and just trying to focus on the game plan, focus on the overall goal. So going into the game, like knowing that everybody was on a high horse, we got knocked down, and then we all logged back in the second half to get it going. It was an amazing feeling to go out like that as a senior and just see everybody come together. So
yeah, it was a game. It was a great game. I mean, both sides of the ball had to play the full game to have success and win the game at the end of the game. The whole game though, nobody ever batted an eye. Everybody always had the same goal, same mindset that we're going to win and we don't lose in Thibodeau. So that always helps. It's kind of like what Coach Rybacki has installed in us with the standard of knowing you're going to win and knowing you've done everything you can do to possibly win. So
I know it's 2 rivalry wins now this season. You got a chance for a third next week. How does that make you feel?
It's awesome. It's awesome. It's a great opportunity. Playing at Nicholls. I mean, you come to Nicholls to do this, to play at home in front of Thibodeau, to play against in all these rivalry games and everything. So it's always a great feeling to win the game. It's a great feeling to win a rivalry game. Add that, and next week is just another game. I mean, you want to look at it like it's just another game, but at the same time, there's always that hype around it, you know. So next week we're going to prepare like we always have and work on the process and not worry about the result. Hopefully get the result we want. So.
A little bit more run in this game than a normal game for y'all. How cool? I know you like to run. Was that something you were happy about a little bit?
Yeah, I mean we did Shane and Brock did a great job running the ball tonight. O-line did great up front, controlled the line of scrimmage. So I mean, if that's the game plan, that's the game plan. I'm not going to complain about it. It is what it is, and I'll just execute, you know. So.
You really came out with a good offensive game plan right there. 2 touchdowns right out the gate. Talk about the game plan going in.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Fatita, Coach Price, Coach Murph, the whole staff, they all went in. Monday, they really worked really hard to start and set a foundation for the game plan. So it set us up really well for the week. Practiced really hard throughout the whole week, worked on everything, the fundamentals, the little details, and we executed them today. Especially in the first half, we had a really good first half. We turned over the ball once with the interception I threw, and we punted once. But besides that, we scored every single drive that we had the ball. So it's really good.
Talk about that 4th down conversion. After you throw a pick, there was offsetting penalties. It looked like the momentum was going to swing, but then you had a second chance to pick up that 4th down. Just talk about that play.
Just kind of just got to dig in there, you know. Had adversity, threw a pick, kind of got hit. The play that we had kind of got busted. Ended up throwing an interception, but the O-line dug in as our receivers, outside guys, everybody dug in and knew what we needed to get done. So we just dug in and did what we had to do to get the first down. So.
Talk a little bit about Shane's performance tonight. You know, he was kind of buried in the depth chart to start the season, and now he's the go-to running back.
Yeah, I've known Shane for it's got to be going on 5, 6 years now. Back in high school, we were in the same district, always played against him, and it was never fun playing against him. So it's awesome to have him on our side, and I mean, he's always been electric in the backfield. So anytime you give him the ball, he could make a big play happen and pop off at any time. So it's always a fun time having somebody like that in the backfield. It really balances out the offense and makes it really fun to play with.
And then as far as the passing game, there really hasn't been, a go-to guy every single game, but Jackson seemed to come up with a couple big catches today.
No, yeah. Recently, a lot of guys have made big plays throughout the games. Every single receiver works really hard throughout practice to make these big plays. Doof did a great job today. He made 4 really good catches that were tough plays that we needed. And those big plays and those tough plays is what helps us whenever the adversity happens and we fall behind on the sticks or something. And then a guy goes and make a big play like that. That's what advances and switches the momentum. So it was great to see that happen tonight.
My offensive line, they prepare every day. They stay hungry and, they just like to work. So I just know I just have to trust my offensive line coming into this game and make it work.
That felt like a kind of old school game right there. Both teams are really pounding the ball right there. How fun is a game like that for you?
It's very fun. Like once I start getting going, I get going. Like behind my old lineman, probably one of the best nights they had this tonight, and probably one of the best performances I had tonight.
I know it wasn't the best season for this team, but 2 rivalry wins, and you got a chance to get the 3rd one next week. How are you feeling?
We just got to prepare for next week. We're worried about preparing for next week.
Talk about that off-tackle run, man. 1,500 yards. It just parted beautifully, and you just hit it perfect. Just talk about what you saw with that.
When I was getting the ball, I just my vision was just open. I was like, oh yeah, I got to score this one, and it just popped.
Talk a little bit about with Ian. This is his 4th start. A little bit about the dynamic that he brings with his ability to run.
It helps us, as running backs, you have a quarterback that's going to run, and they got to worry about him, and they also got to worry about the running back. So it really helps the running backs out a lot.